Hey fam. Hey fam, what's going on? Well, today I'm going to be working on converting the control panel for my bucket truck. So currently I have a control panel that looks like this, but as you can tell, this is pretty cumbersome. So as I'm trying to work on my truck, or work in the truck, in the bucket that is, I'm trying to reach these switches and they're off in an awkward position. So the objective today is to convert them over to this little deal right here. You've seen this outside your house and all. I want to convert it over to this, and the way that I'm going to do that is by putting a series of switches just like this. Now these are momentary SPST switches. SPST stands for single pole, single throw. I'll tell you what that means. Currently on the control panel, for example, if I want to, and I don't know if you can see this or not, but right here you can see raise and lower. So if I want to raise or lower the bucket, I'm in the bucket. Just imagine me in the bucket, and I'm going to raise it up or I'm going to lower it down. I push this switch up to go up, and I push it down to go down. Pretty simple. But let's get into the mechanics of the switch. On the back of the switch, you see I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 6 leads on the back of this switch. So I can throw the switch up, and what happens is it closes a circuit between these 2 leads right here. Okay, it closes that circuit, so I get power to the hydraulic fluid will go through that check valve, whatever it's called. I'm no hydraulic genius, and the bucket goes up. If I push it down, it connects these 2 at the bottom. So what I'm going to do is completely eliminate this, because I want to be able to hold it in one hand when I'm in the bucket, because keep in mind, you know, I'm in the pressure washing business, so I'm spraying, and I want to spray, but in order to spray, I got to be able to push these buttons with this other hand. So I can push buttons on this hand right here, and I have my wand in this hand, and I'll be able to clean the wall, the roof, whatever it is that I'm working on. So I went to Napa, and I got a bunch of these switches like this. Now you notice this switch right here, it only has 2 leads on it. And when I push this button, it springs back out. So this is called a single pole, single throw, SPST. And what that means is I only got 1 circuit, and it's what's called a momentary switch. So it's not on permanently. These are momentary switches. They just go on, and when you let go, they turn back off. This switch right here is not a momentary. It's called on, off, on, or again, this is a single pole double throw. I can throw it up here, and it stays on, then I got to turn it off and then push it down and it turns on again. This is for the extend and retract function on the bucket. So I'm converting from this over to this, and this top right here will be on. It's waterproof, and this will be small. It'll just be I'll be able to hold it in my hand. So what I've got to do is I've got to get these 6 switches to fit in this top right here. I've got to get all 6 of them to fit in that top, and they have to fit within this area right here. That's all the real estate that I have to work with. So I'm going to get started on this. I'm going to drill some holes and put these switches in, and I will be right back. Okay fam, I'm getting into this process right here, and I've almost got all these switches in. I don't have them in, but I wanted to just check in for a second and let you see how this was progressing. I had to find the right size drill bit, the right speed for the drill, and all that good happy stuff right there. But you can see right here that one of the switches is in, momentary, single pole, single throw. So what I'm going to do right now is clear all this crap off of my workstation so that I have some room to work. It's hot in this garage too, you know. Can't wait to get my air conditioning in here, Al. All right, so bits out of the way because I don't need them all. Hopefully when I do this, I'll learn how to do the fast motion, and I can just go through this real quick and you'll hear all that. Pretty poor imitation, huh? So I tried to experiment on these old, I had an old plate sitting around, and you can see by the the way that hole looks that didn't really work very well. So needless to say, I had to use this softer plastic. So now what I have to do, okay, here's two of the switches, and these two have to go side by side. This is all the real estate that I have to work with, but as they go side by side, I have to make sure that they got to properly fit in there. Of course, I want to get them at the right height. I'm sorry. See how those two switches are right there? So I want to get them at the right height. So I'm going to put you on pause again, and I'm going to go ahead and drill the rest of these switches in here, and that'll give me. Sabrina just called. I don't know if they're still recording. Hold on. Hello? Okay, bye. Well, I think it's still recording. Sabrina just gave me a call on the phone, so hopefully this GoPro thing will hook back up. And I'm going to go in and eat and get this thing done. So you guys hang tight. Hopefully I got that pretty close. And let's see what we get here now. Well, so I've got the other two holes in there right quick, so I'm going to go ahead and install these two switches, and hopefully that'll set me up for success. This one feels like it's stripped. Maybe I can't put those, there's some washers that come on these. So as you see, as I take it apart, it's got this little washer right here, and I think that's what's prohibiting that one from going all the way in. We'll see. See, right now I wish I had drilled it a little bit more over. Right, we got it. It will be fine. expand the right side a little bit more. So one of the things that I really like to focus on when I'm doing things for the rigs I like to focus on efficiency. So when you have a crew out there, you know, whether it's you or a bunch of other people, I want to make sure that we're working as efficiently as possible. So think about it, little things like if you leave the truck, I want to make sure that when you leave the truck, you've got your hoses with you. You're not trying to drag a bunch of hose out. You should have that hose as soon as you leave the truck. By doing that, you eliminate time. So the trucks are all set up with the hoses on the street side, or if you think about it, the passenger side. By putting them on the passenger side, think about it, most places you go, you're going to pull up to the house and you're going to park on the street. Not bad, huh? It's coming right along. See there? So what we have is, this will be up, this will be down, this will be left, and this will be right. It's all going to fit in this, so I'll have one hand control. I'll be able to just sit and, you know, move it around like that. The thing I'm trying to figure out now is the boom also extends out and then it retracts. So I'm probably going to do those right here and right here. But I've also got real estate along the sides. But if I'm holding this like so, there's going to be a cord here too. So I'll be able to move it around. There's a speed switch on here that's the switch that I think I'm going to put, because I'll be holding it like that, and if I need speed, I'm probably going to have to be activated with that forefinger. So I'm trying to think of this ergonomically as I put it together. The other thing I can do is put this in and maybe put that sweep, because that's definitely a momentary switch, and it's just a single pole switch. Even though it's a double pole single throw momentary switch. So I got to figure that out too. So I got a couple more right down here. I'm going to try to adjust this while it's on. I might regret it. Yeah, it's cutting my head off, so not that my head's anything to look at. Because I got a head full of wannabe hair. My hair wants to be there. But it's gone, baby. Gone, gone, gone. So now I'm going to try to drill these last two holes in here. This would be for extending and retracting. I'm trying to make sure that they're equidistant. One thing about this though, if I screw it up, these things are so cheap. Getting another one really is not a big deal at all. All right. So we're going to add these last two switches in here. And that's going to give me everything that I need. can't use those washers on there like I wanted to. Give up some of the can't get a good bite into that thread pattern, so I'm going to have to go ahead and so this isn't perfect, good enough for what I need to do though. Probably should have done some measurements and marked them off and all that kind of good happy stuff, but alright, so I don't know if these switches are weatherproof or not, but here we have it. So we have this, and I bought this little dome thing because I wasn't sure if I was going to put a momentary switch in there. There is enough room for me to finagle one in there. A little bit different type switch because it has to carry. Actually, it doesn't. I take that back. But you can see the front now. So now, if I'm up on the lift, this fits nicely in my hand, okay? And while it fits in my hand, I can just push these buttons. I don't know if you can see it with my thumb. So that would be up, down, left, right, extend, retract. So I'm converting this from this cumbersome panel, which isn't really cumbersome, over to this. Now, you see there's a master stopping thing right there, which is falling out. I also thought about that coming down here because no matter how you hold this, you have to have a finger close to this. So from an emergency standpoint, if you need to quickly stop that, you can do it right there. Now what I have to do, so if you look at the back of this, it's a cluster. Okay, so I'm going to have to redo a lot of these wiring patterns right here, and not a big deal. I'll put new matter of fact, this high-speed switch, I'm actually going to put this same switch in here because it's actually in good shape. I might even take that placard that's on here, put that placard on here. We'll see though. That's all that I'm going to need to move the bucket around. So hey, I'll keep you guys posted on how this goes. All I'm going to do now is wire everything together, which is going to be dramatically boring, and then we'll see what the whole thing looks like tomorrow. We'll put it on the truck, see if that boom goes up or down. So hey, thanks for tuning in. Catch you later.